to know exactly where your money is going and who is really spending it, which is more important. I see the director of our Division of Community Services here, Sandy Bromley is here, so Sandy, would you raise your hand or wave to everybody? I see our administrator of the Division of Innovation, Blair Benavides is here, so let's say hello to her. And then I want to say thank you to all of you who have come and set up your shop so that the citizens of Shelby County, Memphis is in Shelby County, everybody. So the citizens of Shelby County, right man, can get to know who you are and what we do on a daily basis, because that's important. And so today, while you're getting your lesson on Gov 101, I want you to take advantage of all of these wonderful and very important organizations who serve you as citizens. So right now, I want to bring up the Honorable Mayor of the City of Memphis, Mayor Paul Young, to say hello and welcome you as well.
Thank you, CAO Collins. Thank you all for being here today. This is a beautiful thing to see and witness. And I want to thank Ariel Gibson Martin and the whole team from Shelby County for working to collaborate with the City of Memphis on this initiative. Where's Jasmine Worrells from our Director of Innovation from the City of Memphis? So y'all give it up for Jasmine Worrells. I'm not going to do the City of Memphis roll call because I see so many people representing the city, but this is what it's all about. I always tell people that our bureaucracy shouldn't be your problem. I'm going to say it again. Our bureaucracy shouldn't be your problem. Oftentimes, you're trying to figure out which agency do I need to call to get the help that I need, to call in and report the issue that you're having. And our goal as public servants should be to help you figure it out. You shouldn't have to think about whether it's the state of Tennessee, the city of Memphis, Shelby County, MLGW, TVA. The list goes on with all of the alphabet soup. Yeah, you can clap for that. Yeah, give it another clap for that. Because that is the reality. There are so many different jurisdictions that have responsibility for the things that touch your lives every day. And so when I was coming into office, we put together a transition team. And one of the suggestions from that report of the transition team was to create a city hall on the go. And the whole premise of this was to find a way to bring the resources that people need to the communities in which they live. And this collaboration moves us towards being able to do that. It allows you all as residents, you all as service providers to connect directly to address the needs that the residents of our community have. And so I want to say thank everybody for pulling this together. There's going to be some great information that's going to be shared today. Please take advantage of it. And remember, it's not just for you, it's for you to share with your neighbors so that they can get access to the same information, because we are on a mission to improve our city. I'm really, y'all can clap for that, because we collectively are on a mission to improve our city, and the way that we're going to improve it is by supporting each other. So thank you to everybody for pulling this together. I look forward to seeing how this turns out. Thank you.
All right. Give it up again for Mayor Young. We're going to go ahead and get started with, on the screen is Gov 101. All right, so one, the folders that you all have, you have a copy of it. So if anybody is challenged with the PowerPoint, we do have a copy that looks just like this, and you can follow along, okay? All right, good morning, everyone. Good morning. My name is Dr. Kenderick Harris. I serve as the manager for Neighborhood Services and Engagement. Within this office is the Mayor's Action Center, okay? And that's on behalf of Shelby County government. And we get hundreds of calls throughout the week regarding residents like yourselves. If you are a resident, raise your hand. If you're a Shelby County resident, raise your hand. All right, I got some really smart people in here. Okay, if you're a City of Memphis resident, raise your hand. Okay? I got some questions for you. If you're a homeowner, raise your hand. Business owner. Married? Y'all didn't look too happy with that. Okay. All right. Received a ticket recently. Within a year, received a ticket. All right. So I ask these questions because it all deals with some form of government. Okay. And so today, my hope is that you all will be able to learn from us. You'll be able to take this information and be able to utilize it, okay? So my objectives for today is, I want you to learn about Shelby County government. I want you to learn the roles of your elected officials. We're not talking about people specifically, we're talking about the roles and responsibilities, okay? I want you to understand the local resources available to you, and I want you to understand and identify which departments keep your neighborhood safe and clean. How does that sound? Thumbs up. Sounds good? All right. So, and most importantly, I want you to know that you have a voice. And by the end of today, I hope that you know that your voice will be heard from the individuals in this room. Okay, so now, quick facts about Shelby County. I don't know when you'll need to know this information, maybe good for trivia, but we are one of 95 counties in Tennessee. We are the state's largest county by population and area, named after Kentucky Governor Isaac Shelby. And then we shifted from cotton to a diversified economy. What I want you all to take from this is this. The country depends on this county. I'll say it one more time. The country depends on this county. We are the leaders when it comes to the 4 R's. So rail, we are one of 4 that have the 5 of the Class 1 railroad systems, right? Runway, we have one of the busiest cargo airports in the world. Roadway, we have a very busy corridor as people connect from Tennessee to Arkansas. And then river, people utilize the Mississippi River. Over 600 square miles of just area, okay? And so with that being said, I want you all to have pride in your county, okay? So, speaking of county, how many municipalities are in the county, in Shelby County? This is gonna be interactive, so I need y'all to yell at me. Tell me what it is. How many municipalities?
7.
Somebody said 8. I heard 7. Final answer? All right, we'll go through them. There are actually 7 municipalities, so we're gonna go through them by establishment date, okay? Should be going, let me click. Okay, so first we have City of Memphis, established in 1819. Then we have Germantown, 1841. Come on. Bartlett, established 1866. Collierville, established 1870. Arlington. Millington, and then last but not least, the baby, which is Lakeland, okay? So, 7 municipalities, okay? What I wanted to share with you all is, everyone in here is a Shelby County resident, but you may not be a resident of the city of Memphis or in Arlington, but everyone is a resident of Shelby County. And we'll talk about that in a second. So, core responsibilities. 3 core responsibilities of the county. One is public health. By law, we have to provide these things. Education, and then corrections and safety. And we'll talk about these things in just a second. So now we're going to go into the branches of Shelby County government, okay? What I want you all to know from this is, at the top you see Shelby County residents. You all raise your hand. You all have the power, the opportunity to vote these people in. So, you got your Board of Commissioners. So, one of 13. They represent 13 within Shelby County. And then you have your county mayor, which represents over 4,000 employees. And then you have your elected officials, so your trustee, your county clerk, your register, your assessor, the sheriff, and then you have your judges. So you all, it's important for you to know about these roles and responsibilities and what they actually do. And we're going to go into detail about those in just a second. So, identifying your G team, okay? Your government team. So I want you all to think about this really simple. Your G team and your government team, they are, let's say, think of them as like your superheroes. And so they have a special ability on behalf of county government. And we'll talk about them in just a second. So first you have your A team. You have your county mayor, okay? One of his special abilities, his or her special abilities is they plan the budget and they present it to county commission, okay? They are the chief accounting and financial officer of the county. All right, then you have your county commissioners, again, 13 of them. They create policies and laws through resolution or ordinance. They approve the county budget that the county mayor presents, and then they set the property tax rate. Let me pause here and let you all know that there is a quiz at the end of this, okay? All right, I want to make sure I'm doing a good job. All right, next is your Justice League. Okay, so now you have your sheriff. He's the chief law enforcement officer. Serves as the chief law enforcement officer, operates the county jail, also the courtroom security, enforces orders of the court. They are intertwined within the county, within the municipalities, and for some municipalities like Lakeland and Arlington, that they don't have an actual law enforcement agency, so they are the ones that would fulfill that role. Then you have your district attorney. They prosecute criminal cases on behalf of the state. They work with law enforcement, and they ensure that justice is served. And then at the bottom, you have your court clerks. And there are several courts. This can be confusing, and again, we have a very complicated county government. But Chancery, Circuit, Criminal, General Sessions, Juvenile, and Probate. I think of the court clerks as the worker bees that make sure that everything flows within the court system. Then you have your property value pros. So first you have your register of deeds, the official recorder. So they record and store real estate documents and deeds, so you know the deed of your house, okay? And I asked you all about who are homeowners, and so that would have the register of deeds. That would be the register of deeds. That would be the one that would give you your deed to your house. And then you have your assessor of property. Definitely want to encourage you all to visit their website. It's a very innovative website in which you can go and check on your parcel or your real estate. So they determine the value of all taxable real and personal property. Okay? And then last but not least is team tax collectors. Talk about anybody owns a vehicle. Raise your hand if you own a vehicle. All right, so the county clerk, they provide and manage vehicle registrations and titles. They collect business taxes, marriage license, they keep all records for county commission. And then last but not least is the banker or the trustee. They collect all state and county property taxes. So now we're going into how is Shelby County government funded, and we talked about this, but I would love to know and hear, how is Shelby County funded? What kind of taxes? Property taxes, okay? Property taxes. So you all as residents, you own a home. Each home is assessed, and then what happens is it goes to the Shelby County budget. And if we were to break down a penny, this is how it would look. What you see is 44% would go to the schools. So we talked about the core responsibilities of Shelby County government. So 44% of that will go to the schools. And then on the other side, for the general fund, that fund will go to operating Shelby County government. Now, as residents, I want you all to know about your residential services, okay? So I told you all, I work at the Mayor's Action Center, which is the information and call center in which you can give us a call and we would document and we'll send people out to investigate certain things, okay? It is this Shelby County side of 311, but you all get a chance to hear from Shelby County as well as 311. Some of the things that we do, we work closely with the health department, with land bank, with code enforcement, and then roads, bridges, and engineering. All right, so now what I wanted you all to do, we are data driven. So we pulled all the information from 2025 and we pulled that and we wanted to rank them. And so as you see on the screen, MAC information line, people call us for information. You all may not know who is responsible for what. But I want you all to leave here knowing that you can give us a call and we can at least point you to the right direction, give you the number, or we can put in a request for you. So we definitely have a table that says Mayor's Action Center. So we want you all to know those things. And then we'll go into detail about some of the requests that we can take. So in blue, what you see is, you see the rodent control, harborage, rabies control, trash and litter, high grass and weeds. If you see it in blue, that's the health department. In yellow, what you see is the land bank, which is high grass and weeds on private property, county cutting of, grass cutting of county lots. So if you all live next door to, let's just say, a vacant lot, you can call us and we can determine and investigate who is responsible. Is it an actual resident or is it owned by Shelby County? If it's owned by Shelby County, that is our responsibility to cut the grass. But we have to figure out first, is it owned by a resident or by the Shelby County? Okay? And then in orange, you see roads, bridges, and engineering, paving, and pothole requests. And then in green, you see residential zoning violations. Some of you might have asked, what is harborage? And I wanted to be as clear as possible. So harborage is anything that harbors the potential for pets. So a couch on the street or in someone's yard, trash and debris that's in someone's yard. All of that could potentially harbor rodents, and we do not want that. So if you all know of people or know of in your neighborhoods that has that, you have the potential to give us a call and make that change, okay? So don't feel like you can't say anything. You can definitely give us a call and we'll be happy to assist you, okay? Some other definitions. Farm animals in residential, in a residential zone. I hope that no one in here is getting, you're not waking up to a rooster because that is illegal, okay? You should not get, there should be no cock-a-doodle-doos in the city of Memphis, okay? So I want you all to know that, all right? All right, so I'll stop here. I shared with you all our top requests, and now 38106, what do you think are your top requests? Again, we are data driven, and what we did was we pulled the data specifically from 38106. So shout to me, what do you think are your top requests?
Trash and litter.
Trash and litter, okay. Anything else?
Vacant lots.
Vacant lots.
And lots with dilapidated houses.
Okay, all right. Okay, all right. Are you going? I'm glad you participated. So here, if you can see 38106, this is your top calls and complaints. Rodent control, grass cutting of county lots, harborage, high grass and weeds, trash and debris. Okay? Yes, sir.
It's a vacant house, when it's in disrepair, windows out, half boarded up.
So this is where you asked if it's a vacant lot.
What a vacant house that's dilapidated.
A vacant house that's dilapidated. So again, that could be a whole bunch of different things. So it could be a land bank because we need to figure out, is it owned by a resident or if it's owned by Shelby County. If it's owned by Shelby County, that's something different. If it's owned by the resident, then that's a city issue. And again, you'll get a chance to hear from someone from the city that'll be able to explain those things. Okay? All right. Uh-oh. Quiz time. I told y'all have a quiz. I want to know if I did a good job. So, hopefully, no, don't clap. I want to make sure I did a good job because if y'all answer these questions right, then I know I did a good job. Okay? All right, we're going to go through these. This is called Whose Job Is It Anyway? So I'm giving you all real-time scenarios of elected officials, and what you all have to do is you have to let me know who is responsible. Got it? All right, let's try. Who leads the executive branch of Shelby County government, oversees departments, and proposes the county budget? Keyword, proposes the county budget.
Mayor.
The mayor. Are y'all sure?
Yes.
Positive? Yes. All right, good job. All right, it's the Shelby County mayor. All right, who decides how much property is worth in the county? Assessor. All right, I feel so much better now. All right, okay. That is true, the assessor, okay? Where do property records live? Records like deeds. Register of deeds, okay? True or false? The assessor sets the property tax rate. False. Who does?
County commission.
Does anybody know bonus? Does anybody know what's the tax rate right now? Shelby County. 269. Too much. And if you are, I'm just stopping right here, but I'll say, if you are a Memphis resident, you get taxed twice. So you get the Shelby County tax and the Memphis tax. Okay? And it's not me. All right. Yeah, county commissioners set the tax rate. Okay? Can the county mayor fire an elected official? All right. You would be surprised how many calls we get about this. Do I have another? Okay. County's chief law enforcement officer. The sheriff. Okay. Good job. I think that's it. Okay. I'm gonna skip over this. How much time do I have? We good on time? All right. I got something else for you all. So I'm gonna share this with you all. Who should you call? Okay. I'm gonna show you how confusing it can be for residents, and we understand this, and that's why at the end of the day, we want you all to just give us a call. We'll figure it out for you, okay? What you see here is a broken down car. You see that broken down car right there? If that broken down car is on the street, you have to call someone specific, right? If it's on the street, who do you need to call? It's not code enforcement if it's on the street. It is law enforcement if it's on the street. So if y'all see, sometimes when you see on the street, you see a sticker, a tag, a sticker on the street, it's a bright sticker, that's the police department, okay? So that's your local law enforcement that does this. But that same car that goes on somebody's lawn, you would call then code enforcement, okay? You see how different it is? And so sometimes we get calls all the time and people are confused or they're angry, but we have to kind of let them know what's going on, okay? Same thing with if trash and debris is on the street versus if it's on someone's property, right? If it's on someone's property and if it's in the city, then that would be community enhancement. Raise your hand, community enhancement. All right, so y'all see those people, make sure that y'all talk to them, okay? All right, and then there also is a health department issue, and we have our health department. So y'all get a chance to hear from these individuals in just a second, but I just wanted you all to know how confusing it can be. And at the end of the day, I want you all to know y'all can talk to us, y'all can call us, and we'll figure it out for y'all, okay? How does that sound? All right? All right, so this is my last piece. It's coming to a close. This is called county, city, or other, okay? So I'm gonna give you a scenario, and you're gonna tell me, is it the city, is it the county, or what's up? Got it?
Got it.
All right. These are kind of real-time examples. People have said something. There's a very large pothole on the street. I've been through 2 new tires. We have a bumpy ride the whole way home, okay? This is on Walker and Orleans Street, all right? Who would be responsible for this? City, and why would it be the city? It's on the city street, okay? Good job. All right, so it would be the city that would be responsible for that. That would be a 311 issue, okay? All right, help, I just saw a rat. Next door, there's an old dilapidated shed, and I saw several rats coming out of the shed, okay? Who would be responsible? The health department, which is a part of Shelby County, so that would be the county, okay? Interstate pavement needed. There's a large pothole on I-40 southbound exit near South Parkway. That's the state. Right, so that would be other, so the state, okay? TDOT handles those state roads. I think we do have a handout for you all that kind of talks about those and gives you the number for T-Doc as well. Elvis Presley. If it was Elvis Presley, oh, that is a state street. Yes. So it gets really confusing again. And so if you have any questions or if you have any thoughts, just give us a call. You can call the Mayor's Action Center, you can call 311. We will take care of those things. But I just want you all to know those things, okay? All right. Oh, we got another one. Car shop in the neighborhood. Every day my neighbors are fixing vehicles in their driveway, on the grass, and on the street. They work on these vehicles all day, okay? Who would that be? In particular, what part of code enforcement? With the county or the city? Yes. Good job. So operating a business in a residential area is illegal, and that's something that you should not be doing. You all have the voice and power to call and make a complaint, and we can get somebody to investigate. So if somebody is doing that, if you see multiple cars being operated or fixed on, we can get someone out to investigate and cite the owner. Okay?
What if I don't want my neighbor to know I called on them?
Oh, that was a great question. Somebody said, what if, is it anonymous? When you give us a call, we get your information, but we're not telling anybody any information about you. So it's anonymous, okay? So feel free to give us a call, and we won't let anyone know. It's an anonymous line. We'll get your information, but it's anonymous, okay? All right.
Loud music, who do you report that?
Oh, loud music. Who do you report that to? I think that would be the police. Yes, loud music. Okay. See how
Suppose I don't want them to know it.
you could. We have police here today, but I think you should be able to. They ask you if you want your information out there or not. So you can say I don't want anyone to know. Okay. All right, 2 minutes. Okay. Any other questions? We are at the question part of it. I have this slide up here. I'll share it with you all, but are you all familiar with unincorporated? So people associate unincorporated, they say it's the county, but everybody lives in the county, right? So one of the things that I'll just share with unincorporated is that what makes unincorporated different from the city of Memphis? I asked you all that. Say that again? Oh, no. They have their own government. So it's still a part of Shelby County. But I'll just say this. You all live in the city. You all pay a certain amount of taxes, right? You pay a city of Memphis tax, and you also pay Shelby County. Shelby County unincorporated, they don't have a municipal tax. And so with that, they don't get the same services as you all. They don't get trash pickup, and they don't get lights. And so when you go into the county, it gets dark, right? Because they don't have lights. So those are the things that you all have as residents of Memphis, okay? So those are the big things about unincorporated I just wanted to share with you all. Any questions? Any other questions? Right. So someone asked, what if their neighbor has rented it out? They've rented out their business. They've rented out their home. You still can call us, and the owner will be cited. So it doesn't matter about who's renting, but the owner will be responsible for that. Okay? Yep. I love that question. He asked, why do we have to call? So in my previous slide, I said something about Shelby County being over 600 square miles, right? Your voice matters because all of the employees of City of Memphis and Shelby County cannot go out and see all of these things. We don't know what we don't know. And so that's why we depend on you all to provide us with that. We don't have people that's always going out to every street within the city and within the county. And that's why your voice matters.
I see enough resources. Just like you said, about the same thing I see. In Shelby County, Board City of Memphis. And it should be the same thing to them, but we shouldn't just ride by and let it go on up. Although the citizens in that community, they be calling, I think when it comes from people riding through that road, make that same phone call, put in the necessary documentation. You got to listen to that.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think, again, there are so many streets, so many things that are going on within the city, within the county, that we need you all to let us know. And multiple complaints help us. So when you have multiple complaints, that allows the department that's responsible to go out and go out a bit quicker, right? So if you have multiple people calling about an issue, that's important to us. And so I encourage you all to definitely utilize your voice and speak and let us know what's going on in your community and in your area and those complaints. Okay? We'll take one more before we move into our panel. Yes.
Just real quick, so under all of this, where does MLG and Justin fall under in terms of complaints? Who do we report those to?
Yes.
So that they can be heard.
Great question. That would have been other. And so if we would have had an example, that would be other. MLG&W is separate from City of Memphis, Shelby County. However, what I definitely encourage you all to do is at our I encourage you all to go to our PJA meetings, Partnership Joint Agency meetings, in which we have people from MLG&W, we have people from City of Memphis, from Shelby County, all there, and you can voice your concerns and complaints, give us the specific address, the specific issues, and they will make sure that it gets taken care of. Okay? So we'll talk about that in a second. Okay. I think we're getting ready to move into our panel discussion, and within the panel discussion, we will be able to answer some more questions. So I want you all to think I'm not going to answer your questions, okay? So, with that being said, someone asked, what's my name? My name is Dr. Kenderick Harris. Kenderick Harris, yes. And if I don't have a card on me, I may have some in the car, but then also we have a Mayor's Action Center table. Definitely make sure that you visit and take all of those goodies over there, okay? But I'll be here to assist and help out. How did y'all like the presentation? Thank you so much. I guess you all passed. Y'all passed the quiz. Good job. Okay? All right, so now we're gonna move to our panel in which we will have people from various departments, from the city and the county here, and they'll be able to answer some questions. We have some questions that we'll ask them. So we'll let them come on up. Y'all give it up for our panelists.
So while the panelists are coming up, you have in the People's Guide, has everybody got a copy of the People's Guide? If you don't have a physical copy, on your agenda there's a QR code that you can take with you. So a lot of the information that y'all talked about today also lives in the People's Guide as well. All right, so we are gonna dive into, you registered for this event, you got the opportunity to submit some questions. And so we took those questions and we didn't just look at them and throw them away. Those are the questions that are gonna guide this panel discussion. That sound good? All right, perfect. So we have some mics, Austin, for the panelists. They're going to introduce themselves when they get cute. Give it up for Austin, Wyatt, and Gaston, some of our connectors. that mic right there, it does work. We can start with that one. It's next to the projector. All right, and we can start with that mic and we'll just pass it down. If y'all want to introduce yourselves, you want to share your name and what department you're with. We'll start with you, Ms. Jackie, with the land bank.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having us today. I'm Jackie with Shelby County Land Bank.
Hello, everyone. I'm Chris Simmons. I'm with Division of Planning and Development in Shelby County Code Enforcement.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Karen Goss. I am the Special Assistant to City of Memphis Mayor Paul Young.
Hello, my name is Sherry Davenport. I'm with the Shelby County Health Department Environmentalist.
Hello, my name is Pat Edwards. I'm the Operations Supervisor with Vector Control with the Shelby County Health Department.
Good morning. My name is Melanie Neal, and I serve as the Director for the Community Enhancement Division with the City of Memphis.
Thank you. All right, so let's jump in. So it's about to be hot outside. It's not hot today, I know that, right? We put our coats up and then we need to pull it back out this morning. But during the summer, we see a lot of mosquitoes. Raise your hand if you see mosquitoes in your neighborhood during the summer, the warmer weather. So what can us residents do about mosquito control? Can I call the health department and you just come spray my backyard?
Well, you can actually call the health department. We won't come out and spray just because you call. We will, however, come out and offer a home inspection to see actually what's going on, what could be causing the influx of the mosquitoes. Now, we do have a team that go out and they larvicide the area, and we spray generally throughout the city of Memphis and Shelby County at least twice a year. We test for mosquitoes. We go out, we trap the mosquitoes, test to see where West Nile is positive. And those areas are usually the areas that we start spraying in first.
Thank you. So we will come. You may not be able to spray my house, but you will at least hear my complaint and we'll do an assessment.
We'll come and look and see what's going on, because it may be a neighbor that has a swimming pool that has stagnant water. It may be a neighbor that has pots with water sitting in it, with, just a minute. It could be a bird bath or anything. And we'll come out and talk to the individuals about those and get them to do a tip and toss, and just make them aware of things that they can do to combat that.
Thank you so much for that. All right, so I know we talked about this, vacant properties in the city of Memphis. If there's a vacant piece of property that has tall grass and weeds, how do I know if it's owned by someone, a corporation, Shelby County? Like, who do I talk to about this tall grass? And panelists, I'm hearing that if you can lift the mic closer to your mouth, that would be good.
Yes, so for houses within the city limits that have tall weeds and grass, so actually I'm going to also pass the mic to my partner, Director Neal, but I will say, as far as starting off, what you would do is contact 311. When you contact our office and give us the address, we have agents who work Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30, and they will be able to look that information up of the address to determine if this is a City of Memphis property or if it's Shelby County. Assuming it is within the City of Memphis limits, we will enter the ticket regarding the issue, and then that ticket will then go to our Community Enhancement Division, in which Director Neal can talk through in more detail about what that process looks like.
Once we receive the complaint and community enhancement, we send out the notice of violation to the responsible property owner. That property owner then has 14 days to comply. If he or she is not in compliance within the 14 days, we actually assign the work to a vendor. We have a pool currently of about 80 vendors that provide grass mitigation services for us, and they have 5 days to cut the property. Once they cut the property, we pay them for doing the work, and we invoice the citizen who owns the property. So we place a lien on their taxes for the cost of the services. And we mitigate over 15,000 vacant lots every year, and we spend about $2.5 million every year cutting grass on privately owned vacant properties.
Just step in. If it's owned by Shelby County, can you pass it to the land bank so she can answer? So if that vacant lot is owned by Shelby County, what are the steps?
So if the property is owned by Shelby County, basically a work order should be placed with the Mayor's Action Center. However, if you do call 311, they are able to notify you of the ownership. We have a maintenance schedule that we cut the grass, but please put in a complaint because we have over 2,000 properties that we have to maintain. There's situations where the grass grows, but there's also situations we have illegal dumping. We send a vendor out, we have contracted vendors that go out on a scheduled basis and cut these properties.
Thank you.
Come here, wait, so how do I know who owns the property though? That seems a little confusing if I have to call the city or the county.
So, if depending on who it is, it's not your responsibility to know that. However, if you give us a call at the Mayor's Action Center, our admin techs will be able to do the research and let you know if it's a Shelby County owned property, in which they'll put in a ticket for that, or they'll let you know if it is with the city of Memphis.
So I'm hearing no wrong door. If I call one person, they will help me get connected to where I need to go.
Absolutely. Huh?
Potholes. Let's talk about potholes. You ready to talk about potholes? All right. I had one other day. I'm not gonna lie. Who do I need to? I'm just kidding. So if there's a pothole on my street in my neighborhood, right? Let's say it's one of the main streets, not a safe street, but it's like a neighborhood street. Okay. Who do I call about that pothole? What's gonna happen?
Yes, so again, 311 is who you call. One of the things that I like to explain to residents that when we talk about 311 in the city of Memphis, 311 really is the gateway to city services. We do a lot of community engagement, and a lot of the issues that we hear, the response is always start with 311. So when you call 311 to report that pothole, again, I really want to emphasize that ultimately, when it comes to city services, we fill potholes for city maintained streets, which would be your neighborhood streets. Now, when we talk about state streets like Danny Thomas, Winchester, Poplar, then that becomes a TDOT issue. But once you put that request into 311, you'll again tell us the location, intersections, give us enough information to put in that ticket, and then we refer that over to our public works team. Our public works street maintenance team will receive the ticket, and typically their response time to address it is about 2 to 3 days to get a crew out there.
Mr. Simmons, groceries are really high right now, right? I mean, gas is high, groceries are high, everything's really high. So I thought it'd be a good idea to, I like eggs, put some chickens in my yard. And see why not, right? It's probably a lot cheaper. And I have some neighbors calling and complaining about that. So one of my neighbors wants to know, is it illegal for me to have farm animals like chickens in my yard? It's my yard.
The answer to that is no. You can have up to 6 chickens Okay, you can have up to 6 chickens in a residential neighborhood. No roosters. You can't have roosters at all. Exception to that is if your property is zoned agricultural. And I think it's very few properties in the city limits that's zoned agricultural. But the short answer to that is you can have up to 6 chickens, no roosters at all.
6 chickens, no roosters. You can make your own eggs. Thank you, Mr. Flake. Thank you, Mr. Flake. All right, another question, and we did talk about this a little bit, but what if I have a neighbor and the vehicle's on the street, but it's been sitting there for a few months? Who do I call about that?
Yes, so we did speak on this or touch on this earlier, and like Derek stated, for inoperable vehicles on the street, that is a police matter. However, I really want to emphasize you need to call the non-emergency number, 545 COPS. And so therefore, once you report that to the non-emergency dispatch, then they will get officers in that area to go out to address that. And like Kendrick explained, officers will then tag the vehicle, and the owner has X number of days to get that vehicle removed. If it is not, and then MPD will come back and get it towed. But again, 545 COPS for inoperable vehicles.
Thank you. This is a health department question. We're talking about rodents, okay? So I want to know, what are the steps that the health department take when controlling rodents? If I have rodents in the house, is that something that you all do, or how does that work?
No, we do not do inside the house. We only do the outside of the homes. We would get the information. They would call in to the health department, get the information from the customers, and they would pass them out to the inspectors. We would go out and inspect the properties. If we see fit that they have rat activity, we would bait the property. If not, we would not bait.
Okay. And then after baiting, what happens?
We will come out 2 weeks. We'll give them 2 weeks. We'll go back in 2 weeks, and then we will assess the property to see if they still have a problem with rats. If they still are, we will rebate again.
So I just want you all to know the process and what can happen. It's only outside. Don't think that they are terminators. So they are only outside and not inside. Okay? Exterminators. I said terminators.
So I want to ask each panelist one question, and then if you have a question from the audience, just for accessibility, raise your hand. And I think we have time for 2 audience questions. We want to come use King Garrett's mic. Put him on the spot. He didn't know he was doing that. Now he does. If each panelist could just answer this question, what do you want to leave the attendees with knowing about your department? What would be some really good information for them to know, walk away with? They've got the people's guide in front of them, right? They have all of our contact numbers, but what would you leave with them? And just remind them of your name and the department.
Again, my name is Melanie Neal, and I am the director for the City of Memphis Community Enhancement Division. A few things that I would like for you all to take away from today is that we deal with privately owned property. So everything that we touch, there's a responsible party out there, and what we're dealing with is neglect. So our first area is to try to make contact with that responsible party. We don't want to exhaust our taxpayers' dollars unless we truly have to. So that's the biggest thing to remember with anything that's called in related to blight, related to code enforcement, properties that need to be cut. There is somebody out there that is just not doing what he or she is supposed to do.
Okay, and again, I am Pat Edwards with the Shelby County Health Department Vector Control Program, and I would just like you all to know that we are here to help you and answer any of your concerns. So if there is ever a problem, you can always reach out to us. If we're not able to help you, we do our best to redirect you and work alongside these other agencies up here to get you the assistance that you need.
Again, my name is Karen Goss. I am the Special Assistant to City of Memphis Mayor Paul Young, in which I did not add this initially, but 311 falls under my purview, along with other city community engagement opportunities. But what I would say is that in regard to 311, I really want residents to know, again, we are the one-stop shop for city services, aside from fire and police. And so I think it's important that, we continue to get the word out that when you see issues and problems in your community, you don't have to let it linger on. all you have to do is call 311, and our team, which again, I have amazing agents who really do enjoy what they do and they want to help folks, but they are there to help guide and navigate residents to get these issues addressed. The other piece I will just say also that we get a lot of heat for from 311 is that ultimately we are not the division that's delivering the service. And so we truly are the institute that takes the information in and we disperse it to the appropriate division or department for response. But it is overall their responsibility within our internal network to address the issue. Now, I will say we do work very closely with like Director Neal and her team, Solid Waste, Public Works. And so we are here to help navigate and guide residents and be that liaison between city services and the community. But at the end of the day, it's not the 311 department that is actually delivering the service.
Chris Simmons with Division of Plan Development, Shelby County Code Enforcement. I'd like to leave you with, I think a gentleman earlier stated that why, we don't be more proactive. And I have to say to that gentleman that we have, in my section with zoning enforcement, we have 12 inspectors. And as of last year, we have started being more proactive. If a zoning inspector rides down the street, see someone working on cars, see a tow truck or 18-wheel in the residential district, they write it up. They will write it up and, without it being, going through 311. So we are trying to be more proactive, but if you can imagine, like I say, we have 12 zoning inspectors that, do city and county for all of Shelby County. And another thing I want to leave you all with is that our seller system, you can apply for building permits online, sign permits, electrical permits, mechanical permits. You can see the progress. You can even see the complaints. Some of the complaints that you all may call in. If you went on a seller, you can see what the inspector actually said. Even some of the pictures that are taken. And we're here to service the community. So if anyone have any questions, I'll be available after the meeting. Thank you.
Hello again, my name is Jackie Hayes. I'm with Shelby County Land Bank. Our department is actually divided up into two sections. One is the property maintenance, where we maintain the property obtained through county tax sales. Most of those properties have been dilapidated or abandoned for years before we obtain those. And so we have to go in and start from scratch, basically. Either the house is overgrown, about to be, or need to be demoed, or the grass is super high. So we have a new software system that we have all the county properties in that software that can distribute it more efficiently to our vendors. So we plan and we will have a better season this year where we are being more proactive. We have a schedule, we're starting earlier this year, so we should be ahead of the curve. That is also another section, which is the real estate section, where we actually sell the county taxes, property taxes that we have obtained in our inventory. And if you go to our website, you could view those properties that are for sale, whether it's in a zip code, whether it's a warehouse, whether it's a commercial building, or a home that you may want to rehab. So our function is also to put these properties back out so they can accrue taxes and be more profitable in the community. Yes, sir.
If y'all are selling property,
Mr. Ian, if we can come get a mic. And that is one of our two questions.
If y'all are selling property in residential neighborhoods, do residents of Memphis, Shelby County have priority over out-of-state owners that may not necessarily have the best interest of that neighborhood at heart?
So the way the ordinance is written, no. The ordinance gives opportunity to anyone that comes in and buys the property. There are stipulations that they have to have, but no, unfortunately, the way the ordinance is written, the sale is open to anyone.
So that sounds like a conversation with the people who write ordinances, which would be your Shelby County Board of Commissioners.
And remember, this is Gov 101. If we want to get to more complex stuff, that's Gov 201 and 301. It gets more complex, okay? So I want us to, we're trying to do the basics. These individuals will still be here after, so we can have these conversations. But you said we're ready for some more.
We have another question. Yes.
Okay. And I'll let you come on up, sir. You can say it.
Just for accessibility for people who have hard of hearing. Thank you.
I think I can speak loud enough for the audience to hear me.
You're not repeated as well.
Sir?
Thank you.
Yes, sir. I've participated in several bidding processes. I've assimilated a team of bidders through that Zeus operation. Am I saying that right? For the bidding for the county properties. It's through the Zeus property. I put together a team of 20 individuals. All of us are local Memphians. And we were outbidded by what I would call AI. How has that happened? We all bidded for the same, all 20 of us made sure that we troubleshot that particular process for that particular property. We drove the price up on that particular property, which was only 0.8 to $250,000. And we got outbid, all 20 of us.
So I understand you're saying that y'all were in a bidding scenario, and as the bids went up, the winning bidder was an out-of-towner, or?
It was AI because the minute each one of us would put a bid, we put together a system for bidding. Okay, it's your turn, it's your turn, it's your turn. So we did it numerically. And the minute we put our bid in, AI counted within seconds.
Jackie, do you want to follow with him to get personal information so you can
I'll
actually
follow
look it
up
up?
with you after. Because that's on the real estate side, and I still can assist you.
The winner was in California.
Yeah. Well, we'll definitely get back with you. Any other questions?
One question.
One more question. Remember, everyone here is still going to be here after, okay? Yes. I don't know if I can.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Good morning. I'm having an issue with my personal property. I've done all the above that you guys are requiring us to do. And the city has came out to my property. I live on McPherson Road. In the back of my property adjoins to Holmes Road. The ditch is corroded so bad, and I've been dealing with them for 10 years about this issue, and nobody seems to want to resolve it. They're aware that it's there. And they said, well, there's nothing we can do about it. Trees have fell over in my yard, broke my fence. I had to take the fence down. And this has just been going on continuously, and I cannot afford to continue to do this. Pretty soon my house is going to cave in from the back.
So it sounds like this may be a public works matter in relation to just street maintenance, environmental enforcement, or environmental maintenance rather, not enforcement, in relation to the ditch work. Is it an alley behind your house? Just a ditch? Okay. Okay, well, I'll get with you afterwards just to get your address and contact info. What we would have to do is connect with our public works team, have them look into it to determine what level of responsibility is on the city side, and then what is to the resident. So we'll connect afterwards.
So, ma'am, will you be able to hang back for a little minute after we get done?
Yes. Can I just say, one, I just want to just shout out everyone on this team. Everybody is a part of government, but we all come together, right? We have City of Memphis, we have Shelby County, but we all are in this together because our residents, they just say, y'all are government, right? And so that's why it's really important. So I'm passing it to Harry.
You took my talking points on there, Chris. No, you're good. So thank you so much, y'all, for sitting in the hot seat and being saying, hey, we'll take the questions. We know it's not a perfect system, but we're working in that imperfect system every day to try to get people served and helped. And thank you all of you for coming out. On the back of your networking bingo card in your black folder, and I'm gonna pause and allow you to actually take it out because there's something important on there. There is a QR code that says post-event survey QR code. And I can't stress to you how important it is for us to get your feedback. This is our first time doing this with the City of Memphis, and we are so excited. But these experiences will only get better once we collect your feedback, right? And so if you want us to continue to do these things and to improve them and just to make them so incredible, you've got to let us know how you think. That sound good? All right. So next, we're going to have the incredible Jasmine Worlds come up to the podium so that she can tell you all about City Hall on the go. And we're going to give it up for our panelists as they exit the stage. Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Doing? Good morning. I told them they got this microphone prepped for tall people, so I had to actually bring it down. I hope that you all were able to get a lot of valuable information from Government 101. I did want to take the opportunity to come up. If you came in, you may have received this to-do list from the registration table. Just to give you a little bit of context as to what this is. As the mayor mentioned, one of his main priorities is making sure that government is accessible by the people that it's intended to serve. And we're rolling out today, we're testing a concept that was a recommendation from his transition committee called City Hall on the Go. And the purpose of it is to bring city services that folks otherwise would have to go downtown to City Hall to do directly to communities. So if you take a look at this to-do list, it has all the things that you could do here today. We have city departments that are tabling right behind you, and then also in the multi-purpose room in the back corner. And so we hope that you will approach them and engage with them, hopefully check some things off of your to-do list. If you find that there are things here for you, then great. But even if you find that you take a look at this list and you're like, there isn't really anything here for me, I wish they would have brought X, Y, or Z, we need that valuable feedback. So before you leave out of this room, there's a survey that we need for you to take that says, we really enjoyed these services, or we didn't see these services, and we need for you all to include that in them. This won't be our last time doing this. We want to make sure that we get it right. And the only way that we can get it right is if you tell us what's working and what's needed to make it better. And so City Hall on the Go will get started in the next 30 to 45 minutes. There's still bikes in the back. Feel free to take advantage of the county's tabling that they have around the perimeter of the room and meet some of the amazing folks who panel. And then we'll get started with City Hall on the Go in just a second. If anybody has any questions, feel free to come and find me and I can make sure to get an answer for you. Thanks for coming out.